So it was really very much a diplomatic role in Afghanistan, even though it's an unusual diplomatic role. Really, all diplomats pretty much do the same work. You develop an understanding of foreign culture and you use that understanding to do your job. And when I went over there, I developed some understanding of Afghan culture. I grew this beard. But found myself working with the Dutch a lot. And so I got to asking the Dutch cultural advisor, a guy called Alex, about Dutch culture, and said, "You know, we are the tallest people in the world." I said, "How'd that come about?" He said, "Well, you know, we eat a lot of cheese. And Holland is a small place. There's no room to grow apples. We all go." Right. He said, "You know, one more thing, we are very funny people, we Dutch." How so, Alex? He said, "Well, you know, for example, every year we have a new word of the year." "Really? What was the word of the year last year?" He said it was the word swaffelen. "What does that mean, Alex?" "It means to swing your penis backwards and forwards and bump it up against something." Is this popular in Holland? Well, yes, more so amongst the men and the women. How did it become so popular? Well, you see, two Dutch tourists were travelling through India and they filmed one another swaffling the Taj Mahal. It went onto YouTube and went viral. Oh my God. Because you see, it started a whole phase and craze of Dutch tourists going around the world swaffling national monuments like the Sphinx and the Taj Mahal. And I got very worried because we in Australia spend a lot of money on counter-terrorism, but what do we do to counter the swaffling threat? And so I sent a cable back to Canberra suggesting a range of countermeasures, including biometric testing at the border and passing electric current through the Sydney Harbour Bridge. It was not well received. But we had a more immediate problem on the base there, which was that the Dutch soldiers were swaffling in the Dixis. The Dixis are what they call the portaloos there. The plastic portaloos are called Dixis for reasons I can't explain. And this was a big problem because the Australian soldiers, the Dixi, the portaloo, the dunny is our sacred space. There's no time where the Australian soldier gets to spend a time alone with his God. And so I had to do something about it, and I wrote this song. It's called Niet Swaffelen op de Dixi. I've heard that when the Taliban held power in Kabul, they messed up people's lives with lots of silly rules. Women were illegal, and so was flying kites. And God defend the kind of men who like to dress in tights. I wouldn't want to be like Taliban and tell you what to do. I'm fighting here for freedom after all, just like you. I respect your lowlands culture, and I love you very much. But there is one important thing I say to all you Dutch. Niet Swaffelen op de Dixi. It's against the law. Niet Swaffelen op de Dixi. We're trying to fight a war. And if you're swaffling in that Dixie like a Dixie swaffling man, how the hell are we supposed to defeat the Taliban? So Niet Swaffelen up the Dixie, you know, Niet Swaffling up the Dixie. There isn't enough room. If I catch you swaffling in that Dixie, I'll tell Brigadier Van Oom, and he'll have you court-martialed and sent back to The Hague, where they'll put your dick on a table and whack it with a spade. So swaffling up the Dixi. Niet swaffling up the Dixi. It really isn't fair. There are people who need to use that Dixie, and you could swaffle anywhere. You could swaffle in Paris, you could swaffle in Rome, you could swaffle in the Taj Mahal, or wait till you get home. You could swaffle in the shower block with shampoo or soap. You could swaffle with the RSM, or with the fucking Pope. But Niet Swaffelen up the Dixi. Niet Swaffelen up the Dixi. Did you hear me? Or are you deaf? If I catch you swaffling in that Dixie, I will call in the SF, that's Special Forces, Task Force 55 and the boys from 66 go swaffling at night with black paint on their dicks, and they will find you swaffling in that Dixie, my friend. They'll hard knock on the Dixie door, in which case I would recommend you immediately bend over, place your chest upon your thighs, stick your head between your knees and kiss your ass goodbye. So Nick, swaffling up the Dixie. Nick, sing along. Nick, swaffling up the Dixie. Nick, swaffling up the Dixie. It really is so gross. Once a week they clean those Dixies with a great big vacuum hose. And if you're swaffling in that Dixie on a lazy Saturday, you may find yourself fellatioued in the most unpleasant way. It will suck you till there is nothing left. What's the PDH battle damage assessment got to say about your cause of death? Let you die, swaffling in the Dixie. Nick, sing along. Swaffling up the Dixie. Good to see you again.